Hey, what's up, Hans family? Today's tutorial is going to be on Pokemon. If you may have guessed already, Pokemon Go came out recently, so obviously I had to rep my love for it, do a little tutorial. This is going to be a two-parter. I have 2 more Pokemon that are coming out next week. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get to it. Alright, so first off we want to grab a few peachy pink roses and some fern-style leaves to emulate the look of Ivysaur's back flower thing. A headband is what will hold it all together on our head, and here's Moo being an idiot, as usual. If your headband is a bit thin, like mine, you can glue a piece of cardboard onto it so all of our foliage can fit properly. Start cutting the fake leaves, and looks like I had some trouble with this one, in varying lengths and sizes, whatever you see fit. I chose to do some longer and some shorter. Start from the sides and glue the longest leaves in place, facing backwards and to the side, laying flat. Start layering them, and so that some of them stick up, you can even secure it in place by holding it where you want as the glue dries. Keep adding more and more leaves to make it really big and huge, and I even added a few different types of leaves to give it more texture and dimension. Once you're all done with that, I went with 3 partly closed roses since Ivysaur's flower is closed, and glue them on one at a time towards the middle of the headpiece. So that they really stay in place and stay together, I even added a little bit of glue just between the petals so that they all were one big piece together. Also, can we talk about how beautiful these roses are in this new lens? Like, holy mother of God. For the makeup, start with some purple contacts if you can, since Ivysaur has some purplish eyes, as you can see in this reference picture. For the base of this look, I am using the Makeup Forever cream paints, starting with this aqua color. You can just put a moderate amount onto your skin and blend out with a dry sponge. I'm using stippling motions with a dry beauty blender, so it really gets into my skin. Now that we're blue, Kim Chi Eyeshadow from Sugarpill is the perfect color to start adding a little depth to our skin. Think of it as a bronzer. Powder around the perimeter of your face and body to give a kind of blue warmth. Just like we darkened, we now need to lighten and highlight by taking this white cream to accentuate the high points of our face. Use dabbing motions with cream to blend it out for a nice gradient effect, and as to not disturb too much of the makeup underneath. If you go all willy-nilly swiping around, you may be a sad panda because it could pick up the makeup underneath. I do this on my nose, my forehead, my chin, and my collarbones. We're going to use this NYX blue eyeshadow just to start carving out our features a little bit. I know Pokemon are usually kind of round and cartoonish, but we're making this kind of humanish, and I need some contour on my face, let's be honest. Even bring out those collarbones a little bit if you'd like. I did because mine are pretty much always non-existent. Ivysaur has some angular eyes, so I'm packing on Kim Chi again as my transition shade all over my lid, and to create the V smoky eye shape, add the darker blue we use to contour. I usually like to blend with a fluffy brush between colors so it's nice and smooth. Bring out the bottom of the eye with more white to brighten and kind of open them up a little bit, while adding more blue underneath so it's a nice cohesive eye look. This NYX Hot Black eyeshadow, I swear to God, is the blackest eyeshadow out there, so you don't need much to deepen the crease. I packed the blue on top to help blend it out further as well because this black is really intense. I can't do a look without some liner, it's like in my bones, and felt tip liners, in my opinion, are some of the easiest to create a cat eye with. It pretty much is like a fine marker drawing on your face, so it makes it easy as shit. So if you have trouble with liner, I would definitely try that out. And the liner was a bit stark against the blue, so I added some extra black eyeshadow at the bottom to bring it together. Popped on the Sugarpill lashes in plush, which are insane and full as dick, then began mixing together green cream paint to use as the spots. You can put as many or as few as you'd like, but I chose to focus them on my cheekbones, forehead, and shoulders with different sizes and shapes. You can make sure to look back at the reference picture if you want to see what they look like. Since it's cream, you want to set it, and you can make it more interesting with using a light green eyeshadow towards the bottom and a dark green eyeshadow towards the top. The top, not the stop. Wanted to bring a bit more of the purple into our Ivysaur since I felt it was lacking, and this purple is gorgeous, obviously, so I had to put that all over my lips. And for the fangs, I didn't know if I wanted to do them for sure, and I'm still kind of apprehensive about them. I don't know if I love them, so if you love them, do them. If not, don't. But I added them in since Ivysaur has them popping out. I also added a little bit of light purple to the center of my lip for a little bit of an ombre effect, and you may need to layer the white just so that the fangs are nice and bright. This look started being extra glam, so why not just add some Sugarpill Lumi to our cheekbones and collarbones for some flair? We want to be a shimmery Ivysaur. I always forget brows, and I didn't want them bare, so I used a purple mascara just to bring them out a little bit. I got this Sea Foam green wig from Amazon and added our fancy little headpiece, and you are done. A glam little Ivysaur. Hell yeah. Time for some motherfucking Pikachu. You'll need a few supplies, but these are easy peasy to make, don't even worry. I pulled up a quick reference picture, then put my headband down in place just to sketch out where the ears are. Doing it this way will help you to show exactly how they will fit on your head. Draw them out, and in all honesty, you would only have to make one and trace them all out, then cut them out, but I wanted my ears to vary in size a little. So that these ears don't flop around, we want them to be strong and bendable, so to do so, we just need a bit of wire glued inside. I did 2 pieces that outlined the edges. Trace this ear and add a backing on top of it if you're wearing this as a costume to conceal the wire, but if it's just for a picture, you can skip this step. I just included it to show you guys in case, you don't want the wire all hanging about. I grabbed some good old yellow paint and painted the ears on both sides. And my headband was also black, so that had to be made yellow too, but if you want it to match your hair or your wig, paint it according so. Trace out the tops of the black and fill that in with a small brush and black paint. Later I did decide to add just a little bit of white paint to the black so it wasn't just that stark black. To glue these to the headband, I first cut the bottoms to be a slight arch to fit properly, then added hot glue and held it in place until it dried completely. And bam, you got some Pikachu ears. With black contacts already in my eyes and a little stained from the last look, let's start with the makeup. I kept a reference picture nearby just to go off of and started with some yellow face paint from Mehron. This is water-activated paint, so basically it gets nice and creamy when water is added, but unfortunately yellow can be very patchy, so you may have to layer it just a little bit. You can also ease up on the pressure of your brush to get a soft and non-streaky look. If it's still a bit patchy, don't worry, we're going to conceal that ish with some yellow cream paint, which will mask any imperfections. Same as last time, I'm using stipply motions to blend. And same time again, adding some white cream paint to the high points of the face. And the shoulders. Gotta do the shoulders. This time we're going to set it lightly with translucent powder, then add even more white cream paint on top. Doing this will help the white paint stay white instead of blending too much into the yellow. We want some major contrast in this bitch, alright? With black face paint now, I start to sketch out the circles around my eyes. If you're wearing this, I would probably switch out for some waterproof liner around the eyes instead, just because since the water-activated paint can run if your eyes water, just plan for that. I'm usually okay if I ever wear it out, but just as a precaution. Try to make the holes relatively the same size, but luckily we are going to set the eye with black eyeshadow and smoke them out a bit. This step will help you out if they aren't perfect circles. You can even help blend with yellow eyeshadow if needed. For the cheeks, Beach Berry from Mehron is the perfect bright red, and I started tapping the color down softly on the apples of my cheeks. Start small so that they're about the same size as each other, and then you can blend as you go to get that same smoky effect. I wanted Pikachu to have his happy little smiling open mouth, so I sketched this out with liner and then just added the nose. Fill that in with black paint to the desired size. I did end up actually making this smaller later with yellow paint. This is a little too big. To really make this illusion come to life, we want to conceal out our lip line as much as possible, so I used it to my advantage. The top lip was painted with a dark red to give the illusion for the back of the throat, and the bottom lip and chin were painted pink to look like the tongue. I added a bit more red to the top of the bottom lip to make the tongue look just a little more three-dimensional. As I was doing this, I felt the Pikachu was just a little flat, so mixing these two eyeshadows together, I added a bit of contour. Also made the eyes look a little more sunken in with orange eyeshadow. My Cupid's bow was really sticking out, so I darkened the top of the mouth that would be right under his natural lip, probably casting down a shadow, and outlined a bit more of the mouth so that it would pop. And if you really want to hide your lips, the best way to do it is to really matte down the paint even more on your Cupid's bow and your lip line with black eyeshadow. Pikachu has these little glossy highlights on both of his eyes that are facing the middle, but make sure that while your eyes are open, you can still see the 2 white circles. I also added eyeliner to the waterline of my eyes, which I hate doing. God, it's the worst. This is my Monster Alice wig, since I didn't have a yellow one, but you could wear whatever you want. I added some yellow to the roots to fade the wig into the skin a little bit too. Now just add your Pikachu ears, and you are ready to run around and get caught by some crazy humans. That's it for this tutorial, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I really appreciate you watching. Please make sure to subscribe and tune in for next week's Pokemon. I will reveal to you guys that one of them is Jigglypuff, but the second one we shall see. Have fun if you're doing these for Halloween or just for shits and giggles, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!